Joining me now on the Daily Ledger Page 5 beat from Nashville, Tennessee, economic analyst, hedge fund manager, and contributor to Forbes and other major publications, Thomas Landstreet. Tom, we just heard the president say the chain is breaking down. It's interesting. He didn't elaborate on that, but I'm going to read it this way, and I want your read on that. When he talks about the chain in China breaking down, I presume he's talking about the supply chain. That because of these jobs and that are being lost, and because of these companies that are sustaining economic damage right now, and because of certain U.S. companies that are now fleeing China, the entire supply mechanism is in jeopardy. You read it that way?
I absolutely do. I mean, this is a pretty mature, as you know, system of trade. They've got distribution networks, manufacturing operations, shipping and trucking, and all dialed into U.S. imports. And now you're seeing companies start looking around, shopping around, if you will, for other places to manufacture. It's extraordinarily disruptive. And Xi, for all his posturing and so-called strength, because he's the supreme leader, has to make sure that the hoi polloi, that is the average citizen, is at peace. And this Hong Kong pressure is real. So despite his calmness and his use of the word calm, in his wishes for our trade negotiations, I would guess that they're very nervous because of the what you just said, the breakdown of the supply chains.
That, and as you mentioned, what we're witnessing in Hong Kong, and we've got to multitask here, right? And we can't allow, the United States certainly cannot allow a repeat of Tiananmen Square. That said, here's the question for me right now. Here we are, about 15 months away from the 2020 presidential election. Is China, in your opinion, seriously negotiating right now? Or is it playing a waiting game, hoping that there will be a, God forbid, President Sanders or a President Harris that they may deal with in a short amount of time?
Graham, this is the most incredible game of chicken that I've ever witnessed in my life. And the gamesmanship is beyond me. I don't think the polls show that Trump's support's pretty strong. So I don't think they're going to wait it out, honestly. I think they have to deal with it now to the extent that they can, because, they live off ripping us off. I mean, they wouldn't even have a technology industry if they weren't ripping us off. So they've got to try to mollify us, mollify their citizens, and then still retain as much as they can of their kleptocracy. So, and then Donald Trump, like I've said to you before, I hope he's a genius. I think he might be. I cannot wait to see how this is resolved, because I'm so impressed and yet terrified simultaneously at this game of chicken. I'm literally speechless. And I will say, I'm very impressed with Secretary Mnuchin. He's got a tough job and he has a steely resolve. I'm sure you saw his interview earlier. Pretty impressive, being able to give language to Donald Trump's more volatile language. This team we'll see what the end is, but it's incredible to witness, don't you think?
Yeah, well, it's the art of the deal on the geopolitical stage. I mean, that's what we're seeing here. On the one hand, he's out there in public, the president is saying President Xi is a smart guy, and he's an intelligent person. He's a great leader. On the other hand, he's saying, hey, by the way, you're hemorrhaging 3 million jobs. So, this is the art of the deal, and hopefully we'll get a resolution sooner rather than later. Tom, thanks.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.